Unfortunately, due to a lack of time, I am going to have to forego reviews on all of these LegionsCon figures. I got one each color of the Armory set. I got both of the LegionsCon exclusive 2-packs, and of course, as you can see right here, I got the Snake Man, the Ninian infantry. So the thing is, I don't have time to review 9 figures. So what I am going to do is I am just going to do a video with the swaps. I know that's what a lot of people like most about my videos anyway. So I'll just take a quick look at each figure I picked up at LegionsCon, and then it's just going to be turntable and swaps after that. So the first one here is the secret drop. That was a day of reveal that we did not know existed until pretty much the day before LegionsCon. We didn't know it was going to be there until the day of LegionsCon. And that is the first of the Snake Men, the Ninians. And this is an amazing figure. Really cool stuff. Painted, the prototype was painted by Cameron Smith, and it came out great. This figure's fantastic. Next, here's a quick look at the Armory figures I got. I tried to focus on parts that were not going to be available eventually when they go online. So that's what mostly informed it. And then from there, it was like parts that I like over the other ones. I didn't get any cloth arms. I know those are not going to be available online, but I really wanted to stock up on those Valiant Knight arms. So I got all armored arms. The red is probably, to me, the most striking and impressive color, but the green might be my favorite just because like we don't really have this color. We have a good amount of reds, even though that red's pretty unique, but we don't have a lot of greens. So I went with that build. That torso was not going to be available online, so I kind of went with that torso. And then we have the purple right here. Again, very Valiant Knight kind of a build right here on the purple one. And I went evil with the gunmetal. And then next up we have the LegionsCon exclusive 2-packs. So here's Gaspar. These cloth goods are awesome. Like the texture on here is amazing. It's a really premium feeling kind of cloth goods. And then we have like the new arms and the new legs. So it'll be cool to kind of get this guy apart and start to experience the new parts. And then we have the Chris figure, the Gorich, the Unpredictable right here, which I think is my favorite of the two. I just really like this almost like samurai kind of look going on here. Very cool stuff right there. That paintwork on that with the silver on top of the green is fantastic. And then we have the cosmic ones, the Creature Creator set. Of the two, I like this guy. He's awesome. It's got that Novian lean kind of stuff going on. So, both of these together are kind of, parts from Novian lean. But, yeah, these are great. The paintwork is super detailed. The accessories have a ton of paintwork. These are awesome. And then, of course, we got this guy here. So those are the 9 figures that I'm going to involve. I sometimes have a hard time controlling myself, so I will probably end up pulling parts out from my bins and from other figures and stuff. But the goal here is to try to like focus all of these swaps on these 9 figures. Among the 9 figures, they all have colors that work pretty well together, so I should be able to keep it together. But there are some that I want to do with this that I may have to throw, at least one that I have in my mind that I want to probably throw in there that uses parts outside of these 9 figures. Anyway, let's get into this thing. Starting us off with a very simple one. This is just a head swap, taking the Cosmic Legions Magnus head from the Creature Creator LegionsCon exclusive 2-pack set and putting it right on the red build that I did from the Armor experience. One thing I will say is that the armor in person doesn't come off as metallic looking as it does on camera, on videos and stuff. It is a really cool red. It's a very rich red. So the lights are playing a little trick, but it looks a little bit different in person. But either way, it looks fantastic. I love that red, and I love that head on there. I also saw Jeremy Gerard put the red vampire head on there as well, which looked fantastic. So very simple first swap. And the next one is based purely around parts from the Cosmic Legions 2-pack, the Creature Creator set. I wanted to kind of do my ultimate build, which really ends up being the Tusk build, like the Tusk Sentry build for the most part. I think the belt might be the only thing that's different there. But it's got a lot of the quote unquote human parts, like the shorter forearms. It's got the sort of human style feet. For some reason, I just really like this build, and I think this looks awesome. And it's got a couple of those little pops of red swapped onto there from what would normally have been mostly purples and greens and stuff. So this is to me like probably my favorite build out of that set. But there's a lot of wild, crazy things you could do with it. I don't have the time. I mean, you could spend all day just doing swaps just from that single set alone. And then next up, I just wanted to show that Mythic Legions is at the point now where you can build a pretty much completely bare body. I did have to pull the forearms off of the Anubis figure, and they match almost perfectly. Like, you can't even tell on the camera. And then the rest is the Gaspar figure with the with the Zendi head there, and then just a couple parts just to kind of like close up that waist area, which you can't have bare because it's like the usual waist piece and the hips and stuff. But yeah, so that's a bare figure. You got it now. I know that these lower legs are the brute scale lower legs, so he's got pretty big calves, but overall the proportions look decent on this. I think this looks pretty darn good for for what this is really my first time seeing a fully bare Mythic Legion's body. For this one, I wanted to use the orange robes from the Gaspar figure, and I thought it would be cool to try it out as a knight's cloak rather than a monk's robe. And so I put it on my purple knight build from the Armory experience with the Atlas head on there, and I think this looks pretty good. That purple and the orange are looking pretty cool together. This next one is pretty much a combination of the Gorich figure and the Armory experience green leather torso and armor parts. So the upper arms and upper legs, those cloth sort of yellowish pieces, those are from Gorich. Lower arms, lower legs, also from Gorich. Then you have the skirt piece, the torso, the shoulder armor from the Armory experience, and then the collar piece and the helmet from Gorich, and the horns are also from the Armory experience. Those are on the bucket helmet that was available at the Armory experience. I got that one in purple. But the greens on these match pretty much perfectly, and I'm going to guess that was probably intentional because this looks awesome, and it is probably my favorite of the swaps when it comes to the color combinations. I think I forgot to mention in the beginning that I'm also including the bare parts that they sold at the Armory experience. They are upper arms, upper torso, upper legs, bare parts. It's just like the classic 1.0 bare parts that you got on like barbarians and orcs and so on, but in that dark skin tone that the Gaspar figure comes in. So it matches those hands and feet. Those are from that Gaspar figure as well as that head sculpt. So that's this here. And then the rest of it, all that golden armor and that weapon, those parts are from the Ninian infantry. So the Snake Man parts on there. I just wanted to kind of like see how those would look, not on the Snake Man, but on something else. And this, kind of like a barbarian gladiator or something like that. And the weapon is gorgeous. Like that weapon, the paintwork on that thing is amazing on that mace that came with the Ninian infantry. The shoulder strap is from the Armory pack the Armory experience. That one, each figure came with a set with a bunch of stuff in it, and that was one of the parts. It's the same piece from the Skeleton Legion Builder 2, which is great to get that piece again. Next is probably one of my favorite ones here, and this uses a lot of different stuff. So starting at the top, the helmet, the collar piece, and then the legs and then the loincloth. Those are all from the gunmetal colored knight that was in the Armory experience. Also the bracers as well. And then the arms and hands are the lizard parts from the Cosmic Legions 2-pack from the Creature Creator set. And then, of course, that green torso and skirt piece from the green leather Armory experience stuff. And then, of course, the skirt, the cloth goods skirt piece also from the Gaspar figure, which I've used a couple times. I think that's an awesome look. And then the weapons are from Armory Experience as well. As soon as I saw those reds in the Ninian infantry, I immediately thought of this swap. So I was sitting at LegionsCon wishing I had had a red jet with me to do this swap. I think this looks awesome. So you got those Tusk Pilot glossy candy red parts, the belt. Pretty much everything here is from the Pilot, and then just swapped onto the body parts, the lizard snake flesh parts from the Snake Man, the Ninian infantry. But this to me just looks fantastic. I love this look right here. And we just got a couple more. So this one here uses the Gorich torso and skirt, and then it's pretty much straight up the build I did for my gunmetal Armory experience. I went with sort of like the evil armor for the gunmetal guy, and the metallic, silver armor of the chest plate and the skirt piece match pretty well. They're slightly lighter, but it looks pretty cool. I think this is a nice look here to put that gunmetal with those. Very simple, it's just basically just a torso swap, but I really love the way this one turned out. It's got that real heavy, aggressive kind of look to it. And finally, I wanted to do a Cosmic Mythic mashup to create a Cyborg kind of character here, and I used just the parts from the both 2-packs, the Mythic and the Cosmic LegionsCon 2-packs. A lot of these parts were like the extras in the box, like I have the Gaspar body, and then I put a lot of the extra parts from the box. So the arm, the bracers, that helmet, those side pieces, that belt, those like blades that are on his side there, the belt, of course, the lower cloth goods that's also from the Gaspar figure. But I feel like this came out really good. I do like mashing up and kind of making cyborgs out of my Mythic and Cosmic figures. And that'll do it for my video. I'm sorry that I didn't do like full-on reviews of all 9 of these figures, but like it's 9 figures. It would take me a month or two to do all that. So I appreciate you checking out this Just the Swaps video. Thanks again, and until next time, may the Force be with you.